What's up, soccer fans? Mike Guglielmi, Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast. How's everybody doing tonight? We are here for episode number 206, season 4, episode 17. This episode, we'll be talking about MLS Week 15 roundup and recap. We'll also be talking about our 4,000 subscriber giveaway on YouTube for a t-shirt. We'll discuss Christine Sinclair's press conference today for the Canadian women's national team and their gold medal. Leagues Cup preview, which is actually underway right now, and also CONCACAF Champions League resuming starting tomorrow night, which we will be live for. So thanks for jumping on here, guys, and hanging out. Make sure you smash that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button as well. If you're new here, you like soccer, this is the place to be. Now, we've got lots of games to talk about. We got a lot of things to talk about on this episode of our podcast. But we don't have a ton of time as we will be going live on YouTube for the Seattle Sounders and Tigres in Leagues Cup action right after this one, after this episode. So got to get through this stuff within hopefully around 35 to 40 minutes tonight on the podcast side of things. All right, guys. Well, let's get right into these games here. And starts out going all the way back to August the 4th, Wednesday, August 4th, a full slate of games on August the 4th. And started out with New England and Nashville, a 0-0 draw. This was a game that we had predicted. Well, I had predicted through my picks and predictions episode and got that draw. Started the week off very, very nice. Moy Gamer is on. What's going on? Dan Garinger in the house as well. Zara in the house. How's it going, Zara? Brother BKL, Karen, Inter Miami CF. How's it going, everybody? Glad you're all here. And just a disclaimer here, everybody. If you have not done so already, you still have an opportunity to get into our 4K subscriber giveaway. I will be doing that giveaway live on this episode once we get done with the MLS recap. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the episode for that one. And hey, head over there and leave your comment soon so that it gets in on that comment picker. All right, Dan Garinger will be back for the game. Need to eat dinner. Nice, man, nice. I need to eat dinner as well, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get time to do that in between this and the game. So we'll see, but good to see you, Dan. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, Brother BKL says, hey, Mike and SOP fam, let's talk about it. You got it, Brother BKL. We are talking about it. Here we go, right off the bat. Let's get into the games themselves. New England and Nashville, 0-0 draw. The two better teams in the Eastern Conference, and they end up getting a good result on the road, does Nashville, against New England, who it's going to be interesting to see how New England does going forward, losing their best player, arguably their best player, in Carlos Hill. He is an unbelievable playmaker. Gustavo Bo gets goals left and right because of the service of Carlos Hill. So we'll see how that goes. But with that injury, but starts out with a 0-0 draw at home against Nashville, one of the better teams in the East. So not a bad result for either side. Brian is in the house. Said, I thought that said Don Garber. Who said Don Garber? What are you talking about, man? Hey, but good to see you. Can't wait for this Sounders Tigres game later on that we'll be live for at 9 o'clock. Make sure you come back and hang out with us there, Brian, for that one. Hopefully they put up a better showing than the Sporting Kansas City side, who is getting their butts whooped right now, as Brother BKL put in the chat, 3-0 Lyon. And we'll talk more about that coming up here in a little bit. All right, so New England and Nashville, 0-0. Columbus and DC United. DC laying the smackdown on the Columbus Crew. Connor McCabe said it best. He says, man, Columbus got to wake up and start getting these things going. Yes, they do. Molino and Zelarayan with the goals for Columbus. But, hey, guys, you're already down 3-0 when that happened. Not good right now for the Columbus Crew. This is a team that's opening up a brand new stadium in Lower.com Field, and they have not looked good doing so at all. I mean, it is not pretty right now for Columbus. So we'll see when they can turn things around. I don't know what's going on with this team. Zelarayan's playing. Yes, they had Zardes out for the Gold Cup. they're relying a lot on Zelarayan right now, as well as Pedro Santos, and Pedro Santos is going to give it, and he's going to take it. So there you go. Isaiah Paskin's in the house. What's up, man? Philly better not do too bad in leg one. We'll be talking about that CCL later, Isaiah. And yes, they better put up a good showing if they want any chance in that second leg. Brother BGL says Columbus Crew came really weak, and that's why they not look good between the injuries. Yes, they definitely have their injury issues there, Brother BKL. But that's MLS. Every team has their injury issues, especially in the dog days of summer. That's always how it goes. So you just gotta fight through it, and you got to build that roster, that depth, which is maybe what is killing Columbus at the moment. DC United, on the other hand, though, they're rocking and rolling. This team is finding their own under Hernan Losada, their new coach. Really starting to play well. Ola Kamara in the 19th minute, Yordi Reyna, Ola Kamara again, and Yordi Reyna again. DC, then you add in Julian Gressel, and watching that game for DC United against Montreal on the weekend, which we'll talk about, it was funny. I started seeing more tweets out about Julian Gressel now, and I had the same thoughts after watching last weekend's game against Montreal. He is probably one of the main reasons why Atlanta is doing as bad as they are right now as well. Isaiah says Zelarayan was always carrying the Crew. Also, maybe last year Crew made the final because others crapped out. That's true. The Crew did have a fairly easy run to the MLS Cup final, but again, playing Seattle there in MLS Cup final was tough. But Columbus maybe put all their hopes on Zelarayan, and he can't just quite carry him anymore. Speaking of Montreal and Atlanta, a 2-2 draw on Wednesday night. Mason Toye, Camacho, the goal scorers for Montreal. You got a red card for Camacho in the 73rd minute. Atlanta gets a goal from Joseph Martinez and Moreno from PK in the 76th. And then Joseph Martinez gets a red in the 82nd with Victor Wanyama. A little bit of choking going on there between the two players. And this is not USA Mexico. It's not Mexico against Canada, guys. It's MLS play. Stop choking each other. That's not what you do in a soccer game. But Montreal just keep sticking around. They just keep pulling out results here and there to keep them in the competition for the playoff spots. Atlanta, God, this team, what is going on with this team? Where are the answers for Atlanta United? We'll see how Atlanta does for the rest of the season. Will they bring in a coach for the rest of the season, get rid of the interim tag on their coach now, like TFC did? Big news there. We'll see. But it's going to be interesting to see how Atlanta pulls through the rest of this year. Karen in the house. Hi, everyone. Hope all is well. And Troy in the house as well says Messi will be playing with Ramos. Messi's going to PSG. I saw that. I'm assuming then Ramos is playing at PSG as well. Y'all got to keep me up to date on all this European stuff. I can't keep it all straight. Atlanta United, Montreal are acting crazy between those two. This is not Liga MX and MLS, so whatever. A new Wiseman, Atlanta won that Columbus match through ref ball. League can't afford to see our stadium empty. That is very true. That is true. Atlanta, that stadium, it's such a great market. The league needs Atlanta to do well, and hopefully they pick it up. Hopefully they pick it up soon. But thanks for jumping on there, a new Wiseman, and we'll see. But Julian Gressel, God, he is balling out for DC United right now, and things changed as soon as he left, and Atlanta wouldn't pay him the money that they should have. Philadelphia and Toronto, this one was a joke. We were live for the Orlando and Miami game on YouTube, and I started to watch this game because it kicked off about a half an hour before, and man, what a waste of time that was. The first few minutes, it was already over. Glesnes in the 12th minute, Gazdag from a penalty kick in the 33rd, and Sergio Santos in the 36th minute. 3-0 Philly. That's all they would need. TFC, they're playing a little bit better with some of these results. These draws at home have been, I think they're getting looked kindly upon because of the situation and how bad they were in the beginning of the year. But this bad team reared their ugly head again on that Wednesday night in Philly. And Toronto is just they're not that good. But maybe, just maybe, the new coach, and he is not just the interim coach anymore, he is the official head coach. Maybe with the halftime news that he pulled during the New York City game in the weekend, that we did live. That could be maybe that's a start of a new era for Toronto FC. And we'll talk about that with that TFC New York City game once we get to that. And Isaiah says, I think New England versus TFC will be a trap game for New England. I would agree with you 100%, Isaiah, except for the fact that it was a trap game already for New England earlier in the season. And remember when Chris Armas got fired, the first day he got fired, and Toronto jumped out to a 3-0 lead over New England? There you go. And then ended up winning 3-2 at Gillette Stadium. So maybe they've already been caught once. Maybe they won't get caught again. It's kind of my thinking on that one. But I can see where you're coming from. Chicago Fire and New York City. This one a 0-0 draw. We'll let John Donovan talk about this matchup on the podcast side of things. He'll be doing his Chicago Fire update after the sponsorship break on the podcast side. So we'll let that go. Keaton Park's a red card for New York City there in that 0-0 draw from Soldier Field. All right, another 0-0 draw, New York Red Bulls and FC Cincinnati. The Red Bulls struggling right now. The offense started to click with Klimala as well as Fabio, and now it's kind of hitting a little bit of a break with the results that New York has had over the past couple of games last week. All right, so then you got Zara chiming in. Imagine Ramos standing up for Messi and Neymar. Zara, I have no idea what's going on with – is Neymar and Messi going to be on the same team? Is he still with PSG? I don't know these things. I only do MLS. I only do CONCACAF. I don't know all these European things. So you guys have fun in the chat there talking about that stuff if you follow it, but I do not. All right, so Red Bulls and Cincinnati, 0-0 draw. Before we get to the game that we did live here, guys, check out the join button down below. If you're a soccer fan, you want to be part of this community. As Isaiah says, Messi signed with PSG today, and Kathy's in the house. How you doing, Kathy? Guys, check out our join option down below. We've got 3 different tiers, right? We've got awesome emojis. We need more members so we can get more emojis. So all you guys that say your team's not on there, we're trying to get your team on there. We just need more memberships. Check it out. You're going to get those emojis, the as well as the loyalty badge. Then you're going to get your name in the scroll down below during the podcast episodes. It's a little tiny because we're sharing the screen, but during the live stream reactions, it's right there. Designated player level, you're going to get one matchup per month where you get to vote on which game we should do as a designated player and all-star members live reaction for only members, a good small grouping of us together, nice small group, and we get to talk about all kinds of things, not just soccer. As well, then you're going to get your name in the description and discounted merchandise. The All-Star member is for the betting folks out there. If you like to bet and you bet soccer, that is it for you. Make some money with Sons of a Pitch Soccer. I am making tons of money. Last week, we hit on 16 out of 25 over-under bets. We hit on a few prop bets. We hit a few draws. Life is good. Made some good money last week. And All-Star members get my one exclusive video per week with my over-under pick as well as a prop bet pick and my 3-team parlay. So check that join button out. If you're on an iPhone and that little blue join button is not next to the subscribe button, you're just going to have to go on your computer, log into YouTube, and purchase the membership through that way, and then it'll be on your phone going forward. So thanks, guys. For the members who have already joined, you see your names down on the bottom, and for those who have yet to join, welcome to the club later on. All right, so let's get into our Orlando and Miami discussion. Orlando and Miami with the 1-1 draw. This one was funny. It was all Orlando in the beginning of the game. And then all of a sudden, I talked a little bit of smack about Kieran Gibbs. And next thing you know, Kieran Gibbs scores the goal and gets Miami back in it. And it ends up being a 1-1 draw. Tesho Akadelli almost got the game winner at the end, but it was ruled offside. So that one finishes 1-1, but it was an exciting game to watch. Isaiah says, remember, guys, always bet against Austin or bet the draw. And as I put this up about Austin, they did get the victory over Houston last game out on Wednesday. And this one, a very high-scoring game. Pochettino with 2 and Dominguez with a goal. 3-2 over Houston. Houston, not really the best team in the world, let's be honest. And with a Darwin Surin, the I believe it's El Salvadorian international, getting the red card in the 20th minute. Not much of a chance there for Houston at Q2 Stadium in that awesome atmosphere. And there's Kathy says, good, thanks for asking. How are you doing? I am doing fantastic, Kathy. I get to sit here and talk soccer for the next 3 hours. I am a happy, happy guy. Isaiah says, commentators curse. That's exactly what it is, man. Exactly what it is. And Zara saw that Orlando game. It was good. Yes, it was an enjoyable game to do as a live stream reaction. So Austin gets the victory there in the midweek. Seattle and Dallas. Dallas gets the equalizer to pull out the draw from Franco Jara in the 90th plus 1 minute. At the death, Dallas gets a point there in Seattle at Lumen Field. And Seattle's just they just keep kicking along. They're not really pushing that next level, but they've got so many damn injuries. It's understandable why. And it's going to be interesting to see how they do moving forward with these injuries and when Ladero is going to get back and Morris is going to get back and all these different players that are going to be coming back for Seattle. As long as they're in a playoff hunt, that's all that matters. And there you go. Brian says, always subscribe, always kick the like button, and be an all-star. Yes, be an all-star like Brian W. in the house there. And, Brian, much love, man. And BNB Max, to the moon, buddy. To the moon. I finally figured it out. I did get it through. There you go. People are recovering in Seattle. Yeah, Seattle, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. And there's Rocky. Rocky and Brian always like going at it there with Portland and the Flounders, Timbers and the Flounders. There you go. Excited for that rivalry game. That's going to be a hell of a game there, Rocky. Definitely going to be a game. All right, so moving right along, LA Galaxy against Real Salt Lake. The Galaxy get the 1-0 victory through an Efrain Alvarez goal in the 53rd minute. LA Galaxy, a win at home like they should do, and we'll talk about the Galaxy a little bit more come the weekend. LAFC gets crushed by Kansas City. Whoa, man, rough game for LAFC. I don't really see what these odds makers have with LAFC. They think LAFC is the best team in the league, hands down, and they just continue to put these odds out like crazy. This game, LAFC was a huge favorite against Sporting Kansas City. Now, albeit they were at home, LAFC, when they, in MLS, the home teams are always going to be the favorites or damn close to being the favorites. But, man, it's, LAFC got crushed. Masovsky in the 82nd minute, KC with goals from Polito, Luis Martins, Shalawi, and Gadi Kinda. And we'll talk about SKC here in a minute. This SKC team that beat LAFC is not the SKC team that's playing against Lyon in the League's Cup. Jay Jardim's in the house. What's up, man? And there, Rocky says, LOL, I'll make some room in the dumpster. There you go. There you go.
I joined your live, but I don't have it locked.
Okay, thanks. All right, so Kansas City 4, LAFC 1, Portland and San Jose. Diego Chara with the red card in stoppage time in this one. Felipe Mora with the goal, and then Chofis Lopez for San Jose to tie it up 1-1 there in this matchup there for Portland at Providence Park. Cincinnati and Orlando. Brenner with the goal in the 42nd minute for Cincinnati, and Nani gets the draw for Orlando in the 56th minute from TQL Stadium. Orlando, a couple of draws this week against some inferior competition does not bode well for them moving forward here through the MLS season. But again, a tough midweek and weekend matchup, so I understand. We'll let it slide. Columbus and Atlanta, the one that a new Wiseman was discussing there with that victory over Columbus. Mensah, a goal in the 37th minute. Barco with 2 in the 5th and the 35th, and then another PK in the 65th minute for Atlanta, but slotted home by Moreno. 3-2 Atlanta over Columbus. Their issues continue. Guys, please go upstairs. All right, so Atlanta gets that done there and gets that victory over that struggling Columbus side. Minnesota and Houston. Houston gets another loss. It's a double loss week for Houston, losing to Austin and then losing to Minnesota at Allianz Field. Robin Lode and Kallman, the goal scorers for Minnesota. The Loons starting to turn things around. Yes. Jay, what's up with Columbus? Dude, I don't know, man. They are struggling right now, and it is crazy how poor that team actually is. I don't know what's going on. They have the talent on the field. I'm just not sure why that team is struggling the way they are. And kind of makes it seem like that MLS Cup run was more of a fluke than anything else. And there, Rocky says, Caleb Porter hangover year. There you go. Zachary Harden, dude, I'm so embarrassed right now. Zachary, I'm with you, man. I can't believe the result that we're seeing right now. But actually, I can when I saw the lineups. I expected that. HJU Rodriguez in the house as well. How's it going, HJU? Atlanta getting way much better. They are getting better. They are slowly getting better, Atlanta. And there you go. Says, also our 2022 season ticket holder payments start Monday, and they want to keep the fans invested with wins and signings. Yes, that will always get things going there. When they've got that deadline for the season ticket holders and those payments start coming in, they always want to make those plays look good. That's for sure. And there, Isaiah says, I think Columbus can't really handle the hype, especially with how they rely on Zelarayan. I agree. Brian says, is the other feed live now? It's not. It was just a notification. I'm glad to see you get that. You turned the bell on there because that just means that it's coming up in 30 minutes. Starting at 8:50 is when I will start the stream there. Leon just keeps their foot on the gas. Yes. And now 4-0, never mind, offside. Man, it's look at the lineups, and we'll talk about that come our Leagues Cup discussion in a few minutes. Now moving to the next one, Toronto and New York City. Larea and Pozuelo in the comeback to tie things up for Toronto 2-2. Our Mr. J. Jardine was in the house today. Well, it's not today, Saturday for this one. Sent a lot of good pictures over, and it was an awesome game to be at, I'm sure. Great result there. But man, what a comeback. And I think that won Javier Perez the head coaching job. I really think that is what did it as well. I'm thinking that for that one, and I completely lost my train of thought, but because I'm watching this SKC game up here. But looking at it, that was a moment that really needed to happen, and I think that's what won him the job. I believe it was the moment that he subbed out Michael Bradley and Josie Altidore and showed that he had the cojones to do what needed to be done. And other coaches in Toronto haven't done that. And you know what? That's the end of that Josie Altidore, Michael Bradley era. That was a signal of it, and the team turned around, and it's about time. So hopefully that will continue going forward here for TFC. But Javier Perez hopefully does well moving forward for Toronto. And I think this season's done for TFC. I think they're not going to make the playoffs. They're just too far out of it. They're not quite. They don't have the talent in order to do that right now, not with if they're going to continue to play Bradley and Altidore. Now, New York City, on the other hand, look, this team is loaded. They have so much talent. Santi Rodriguez with the goal in the 12th minute, as well as Tajiri Shradi in the 21st. This team is loaded, a very, very good team. And I think New York City's right there at the top with New England Revs, Orlando City. I think these are the better teams in the Eastern Conference, no doubt. And there you go. Brian says Seattle starting 11 is out in your inbox. Thank you, sir. I just saw that come through, as well as a bunch of other text messages because we've got all kinds of crazy things going on here, storms and everything like that. There you go. TFC might as well look forward to next year without Bradley and Josie. Agreed. All right. So moving right along, let's take a short sponsor break for the podcast side, and we'll be right back after the John Donovan Chicago Fire update. All right, we are back here. Dallas and Austin. Dallas with a 2-0 victory over Austin. Hollingshed and Ferreira with the goals for Dallas. Good result for them as they are starting to become more and more consistent as the time goes on. Colorado and Kansas City, a 0-0 draw. Portland and Real Salt Lake, a barn burner, 3-2 victory for the Portland Timbers. And wow, that was a good result there for Portland. Portland starting to roll before that matchup against their rivals, the Seattle Sounders, here moving forward through the week. Also, then we've got Chicago and New York Red Bulls. Chicago gets the victory. Stojanovic with 2 goals really early in the match, the 2nd and the 8th minute. The Red Bulls get their goal in the last minute of the game. Barlow with the goal there. And there you go. Zachary says, anywho, I'm at this very loud pub watching SKC and Lyon. So see y'all later, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us, Zachary, and come back for the second game of the live here in a little bit as SKC pulls one back. Nice little pass into the middle there for SKC. It's now 3-1. All right, next game up, Miami and Nashville. Miami with the last-minute winner by Indiana Vassilev. What a play that was, and Miami gets the victory there over Nashville. A big win, big win for that team. They definitely needed it. All right, next up, New England and Philly. New England gets a goal from Bow and Polster, and Paxton Aronson opens up his account for the Philadelphia Union. The Revs keep on trucking. San Jose, LAFC loses their second game in the week. Not a good week for LAFC, man, not at all. And yes, Ray Hudson did go wild. That was funnier than hell. I love Ray Hudson's calls, man. That you guys should go back and listen to that on ESPN Plus if you get the chance. But yeah, that good call there. He did go crazy. San Jose with a victory over LAFC. What's going on with LAFC, guys? What's going on? They've got to figure it out. They have to figure this out. I can't. And there, look at that. Lyon gets one back, or is it offside? I believe it's called offside, but almost went up to 4-1 there. I wouldn't be surprised if Vassilev replaces Lewis Morgan in the 11. Isaiah, wow. Yeah, I mean, Morgan was the MVP for that team last season. I'd be surprised to see him get knocked out that quickly. DC and Montreal, 2-1 DC over Montreal. This game was all DC United, and then Montreal got that goal from ZBG, and then all of a sudden it went to it went back to DC's favor, and they kicked it. Nahar with the goal in the 40th minute, and then Ola Kamara in the 54th, and DC gets the win. Well-deserved win, and man, all about Gressel. That man is amazing, and he really controlled the entire game for that DC United side. Last game of the weekend, LA Galaxy and Vancouver. We were waiting for this one, needed this one for the 3-team parlay victory, and no, didn't happen. LA Galaxy couldn't get it done. They get the goal from Cabral in the 32nd minute, which, of course, was a prop bet pick for Cabral. That was another win. And all right, they're going back to VAR now for that 4th goal. It might end up coming through here. But Vancouver, Veselinovic opens his account for the Whitecaps and ties it 1-1. So those are all 25 results. Now a quick look at the standings before we move on to the other things we're going to talk about tonight. Looking at this play here in this Kansas City, and oh, he's on. Well, no, he was off. The first guy was off. That should be offside. All right. New England, the class of the Eastern Conference. It's not even close. 40 points to 30 points. I expect this to tighten up just a tad since it will be since that team will be without Carlos Hill. All right, they gave him the goal. They said it was a good goal. Lyon 4 and SKC 1. New England 40 points out of 19 games played, 2.11 points per game. That is, I think they've pretty much sealed the deal in the Eastern Conference, but it will get closer because of no Carlos Hill for a few months. Orlando with 30, New York City at 28, Philly at 28, Nashville at 28, DC at 27, and 24 points for the Crew, sitting in that number 7 spot. Toronto all the way down at the bottom, with 15 points out of 18 matchups. They are 9 points outside of a playoff position right now. I think the season is done for Toronto, Cincinnati, and most likely Miami and Chicago as well. I think Atlanta, New York, and Montreal have an opportunity to get up, but that's about it. Now in the Western Conference, Kansas City has the number 1 spot with 34 points out of 18 games. Seattle right behind them, even with all those injury issues. Galaxy right behind them. It's a very, very tight race at the top for those 3 teams. Colorado, Minnesota, Portland, and LAFC, they're rounding out the top 7. So there's a look at the standings. I want to touch really quick as we move on here to the Christine Sinclair Zoom call today that I was a part of due to being on the media team for Canada Soccer. It was a really cool call today with Christine Sinclair. She, the main thing was the whole thing for Canada was changing the color of the medal. And this team, they did just that. And I was worried personally that if they did get through that semifinal, that complacency would set in. And one of the questions was asked was, how did that come about in the locker room? What was it like? And she said, honestly, the minute the team got back in the locker room, they were all like, you know what? We did it. We changed the color of the medal, but we're not happy. Let's go get that gold. Let's go win it and take it home. And they did just that with that victory over Sweden. A lot of discussion. There were really a couple big themes of this call. Number 1 was discussion of NWSL or some type of women's league in Canada. And the short-term goal is getting an NWSL team in Canada. That's the first step. And honestly, they need to do it, and they need to do it soon. MLSE, if you're listening, get out there and get a team in Toronto. You got to do it. Then you've got, one comment that I thought was a little interesting was that she said, we just have to find somebody. We want to start a league in Canada or even a team, an NWSL team. You need to find somebody that's a rich person that's willing to lose millions of dollars for the women's side of the game, willing to take a chance. And I found that to be very odd that even from the get-go, they're saying we're looking for somebody to lose millions of dollars. That's not what business people do. They don't get into business to lose money. They go into business to make money. Nobody's going to sacrifice millions of dollars just to try to make a women's game better. That's not going to happen. But I honestly think if a team was to go into the Toronto market, as long as you put a winner out in the field, that team wouldn't lose a ton of money. I think they could make money and do it pretty well. I think, especially with all the infrastructure there, with BMO Field there and whatnot, I think Toronto is the really good opportunity for an NWSL team in Canada. Last thing, Christine Sinclair, 38 years old, the all-time leading goal scorer, and she had said, I went into this tournament knowing that she would get questions about if she was going to go into, go into retirement in international soccer or keep going. And her thing was, she's not going to make a decision right now. She feels great and is excited to join her Thorns teammates for the NWSL season and going to take time to discuss things with the family. And some days she wants to go on forever and other days she wants to leave at the top. So she hopes to make a decision in a month or so. But either way, she has served Canadian soccer well. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for Christine Sinclair. I think she could really, really grow the game in Canada, even from a coaching side. Would be smart. And there you go. Toronto supports TFC better than the Raptors anyways. Sometimes they do. And then NWSL team Toronto will be the best team in Toronto. Yeah, they probably would be. Yeah, TFC, not so good right now. All right, moving on to the Leagues Cup as we are live right now. We'll be live in a little bit for the Leagues Cup game here, Seattle against Tigres. That game starting at 9:00. The stream will be on as soon as we get done on this one. And then we'll get started. Hopefully, I believe kickoff is around 9:00. Then we've got the other Leagues Cup game coming up Thursday, Orlando City against Santos Laguna. So make sure to check that one up. And those are the two games that we'll be doing for the Leagues Cup. Now, the Leagues Cup, you got Orlando City, Santos Laguna, New York City, and Pumas, Sounders, Tigres, and KC Leon. Obviously, Leon is done. They will be moving through to the next round up 4-1 over Sporting Kansas City. Look, Kansas City put out a weak team, and I was very interested to see how this plays out because now you get the teams are able to go in always in CONCACAF Champions League. The talk was always, well, the MLS teams are in preseason and Liga MX is in full force. So what's that going to look like for Leagues Cup when the teams in MLS are in the middle of their season and Mexico is in basically just starting their season out. And Sporting Kansas City, they just come off a 2-game week and they put out the lineup with the kids. All right. And that's to be expected. You're going to get crushed when a team like Lyon brings its starting lineup and you have most of your players on the bench there for Sporting Kansas City. So luckily, talking about the Sounders game, and Brian, thanks for sending over that lineup there. That's good. They're playing a good lineup tonight. So this should be a good game. I'm hoping to see the MLS teams put their best teams forward. Unfortunately, KC didn't do that tonight, and they are going to lose because of it. But if the United States and MLS teams play their best teams, I think Orlando City could beat Santos. I think New York City could beat Pumas, and Seattle could beat Tigres. I do. Now, will all 3 teams win? No, there's no way that will happen. But at least 1, maybe 2 should get through, and I really hope we don't see a semifinals consisting of all Mexican teams, and then in the U.S. stadiums, being played in the U.S. stadiums. That hurts the league more than it helps with this Leagues Cup. And there was a question in the chat before. I know I was talking about, hey, Ryan Anderson's in the house. What's up, man? Congratulations on your 1,000 subscribers, man. And thank you to everybody who has gone over and started to watch Ryan's content and subscribe to him over there. Look, this Ryan, proud of you, man. You busted your ass. Well done. And glad that everybody enjoys your content as well. Hey, there you go. Jose is in. He's heading to the Seattle Tigres game right now, sending all my love. Nice, Jose. Thanks for jumping on, man. Send us some pictures. DM me some pictures on Instagram, and I'll put them up during the live there while I'm live. I'm going to stop by and say hi during the live as well, Jose. All right, yes, 5-1 there. Yikes. Here we go. MLS was using their B teams. You're damn straight MLS was using their B team. Sporting Kansas City's B team was out there, Troy. Talk all the smack you want, but that's exactly what it is. So we'll see how this goes. Honestly, for my predictions, I'm predicting Seattle to beat Tigres tonight, and then I'm also picking New York City to beat Pumas. I think Santos will beat Orlando, and then that will put through. I expect the Sounders to take this very seriously and get into the final, but I still think Mexico will get the better hand here and win this Leagues Cup. That's my guess. All right, so now to the CONCACAF Champions League. Guys, we'll be live for some CONCACAF Champions League action. Tomorrow night, we'll be live for Monterrey against Cruz Azul right here on YouTube. So make sure you stop by and hang out during that one. Leg number 1 from Monterrey. That one should be a very, very good game. And then the second game of the CCL semifinals, Club America against Philadelphia Union. And, man, Philly, the last hope for MLS. The last hope. Can they pull it out? Can they do something, please? It would be nice to see. It would be nice to see. I don't think it's going to happen. I expect Club America, they were my pick before the tournament, to win. I think they will win, and I think that Philly will be knocked out. And then Cruz Azul, Monterrey. Both teams, honestly, in the beginning of their season, I don't know too much about where they stand right now. My guess is, based off of form from last season, Cruz Azul will win that, and it'll be a Clásico between Cruz Azul and Club America from the Azteca in the CONCACAF Champions League final. But you know what? It's good to have CCL back. It's good to see this Leagues Cup, which got delayed last year because of COVID. At least the people got it figured out to say, hey, we're going to do this year regardless, and we'll go with that. So with that being said, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode here tonight. Again, if there's anything you guys want to hear about, let me know. Let me know you guys can email me podcast@sonsofapitchsoccer.com. You can find me on Twitter @SOP Soccer, on Instagram. Send me the direct messages and we can chat it up, and as well, give me some topics to discuss during these regular podcast episodes as well. So with that being said, guys, we'll see you guys in about 10 to 15 minutes for the second game of the League Cup doubleheader. And, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the giveaway yet. So it's time to do the giveaway. So let's put this back on here, guys. And here we go with the giveaway. This is the random comment picker here, okay? So we put the YouTube video URL into the chat here. Get YouTube comments. Total of 26 comments here. And yes, BNB Max, Brian, totally. And here we go. So let's click. I'll click this little button. It'll start running through a bunch of names, and then it will end up on one. Let's see who will win that T-shirt. And there you go. Brian says, F, I don't think I went and commented. Well, Brian, you better hurry up, man. You better hurry up. All right. So here we go. 26 comments. You know what? Let's enter it in again there. Let's see if Brian got it done in time. And we can ride it through on that one. All right. HTTPS. Nope, that's not the one. Here we go. Enter that in. Get YouTube comments. Still 26. Brian didn't get it in on time. And here we go. There's all the names riding through. And the winner is Kyle Lowe. T-shirt. What a comment. T-shirt. Well, Kyle, you got yourself a T-shirt, man. So, hey, let me know. You got to get a hold of me, Kyle. I can't get a hold of you. So come on over through Twitter, SOP Soccer, or send me an email at podcast@sonsofapitchsoccer.com. And let's get that information there. I will send it to you as soon as they arrive, as we do. We're still waiting on them. Teespring has printed them out. They said it was going to be in the mail, shipped by August 8th. It still has not been shipped yet. But we'll get there eventually. So Kyle Lowe, the winner. Thank you for commenting, Kyle, and thanks for those 4,000 subscribers, guys. Absolutely amazing. And look at this. We got Nick P in the house. I could really use an SOP shirt. Nick Pateras, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you, brother. And there you go. What's up, Nick? What up? Think everyone should buy an SOP shirt. What's up, Nick? Look at that. All right. Good to see you, Nick. And come hang out for the Leagues Cup game in a little bit. And there you go. How do I get my badge? Been a member since 10 subs. Troy, you have not been a member. You get your badge if you become a member. You've been a subscriber for a while now. Yes, you have. But hey, join, Troy. It's time to join as a member. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Kyle, the winner of our T-shirt, send me an email, send me a DM on Twitter or Instagram, and we will see you guys very soon for the Tigres versus Seattle matchup in a little bit. Have a good night, guys.